Welcome everyone to what I think might be the 19th exhibition of stupid people. Today we have 3 topics, all varying in their stupid nature. And I think we're going to start with the Penis Man. That got me demonetized. Who is the Penis Man, you ask? Well, it might be Dustin Schomer, who was yesterday arrested by the Phoenix police, but he has just confessed that he is just a copycat. So who he actually is a bit of a mystery. But there are a number of articles that have done their rounds. The Phoenix New Times, an independent source of local news and culture, has been reporting on this. Here's a picture of his work. It is top-notch, as you can clearly tell. Banksy, you suck by comparison. In 2 weeks, the name has been scrawled upon porta potties in the Town Lake, Arizona State University, dormitories, businesses, and public equipment, even on the historic Hayden Flour Mill, and the A landmark on Hayden Butte. Well, he hit the front door of the municipal building, and now the cops have decided to go to war with the Penis Man. The article I've linked below has quite a number of innuendos in it, and I find them to be quite amusing. A detective, Natalie Barella, spoke to the New Times, the article I've linked below, confirming that the Penis Man has penetrated new areas. After saying that earlier this month there was no active effort to catch this vandal. I prefer the word artist. And now that this has happened, more has taken place, more Penis Mans are popping up, the police are looking for tips. You can thank the article for these jokes, they are on point. Based on the information that the Temp Police Department has been able to obtain, they've opened an investigation to attempt to identify and apprehend the person or persons responsible. But for the sake of investigation purposes, they're not providing additional information at this time. So it could well be that the claimed copycat Dustin Schomer is in fact the real one. We can't be sure just yet. His handiwork is exquisite, I must say. The lines on the lettering. Somebody's been taking calligraphy classes. Yeah. In truth, I'm not entirely sure who the stupid person is here. Is it the person spraying Penis Man, or is it the police for not being able to catch the Penis Man? Only catch a copycat, an attention seeker. We will obviously find out in time. The fact, by the way, that this is so known, even TMZ is reporting on this, and the New York Post. Hell, we may as well throw in the 25 heavily armed SWAT members that raided the home of Dustin Schomer to arrest him because he was dangerous? Jesus. Next. So next we're going to go to Utah because there's something really funny there, I promise, where a court has had to rule in a case concerning a woman who was charged after her stepchildren saw something no stepchildren should ever want to see. And what did Lily Buchanan do? What could she have possibly been doing that could have gotten the Utah courts to absolutely hammer her and charge her? Well, she was hanging drywall, and they saw her topless in her own home. Judge Cara Petit, there's 2 T's in this, so I'm not going to say petit because it's not, it's Petit, has sided with the prosecutors who argued that lewdness is commonly understood to include women's breasts in American society, and that judges should not second-guess what lawmakers have decided is lewd conduct. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure how someone in their own home is getting done for lewdness unless somebody was peering through the windows. Unless, of course, the stepchildren saw these knockers and were immediately appalled to the point where they thought, things like that should never be seen. Tuck those things in. At this present time, we're not sure whether Tilly Buchanan is going to appeal the ruling. However, it's more than likely that she will, because if she doesn't, her misdemeanor charge could go to trial. No joke, it could. And it could lead to jail time, along with being forced to register as a sex offender for 10 years for showing your tits. Understandably, the Free the Nipple campaign is on this, and Tilly Buchanan, along with the American Civil Liberties Union of Utah, had in fact pointed to the fact a court ruling had overturned a topless ban in Colorado, which had helped fuel a movement, with them saying that Utah's law on lewdness involving a child was unfair because it treated men and women differently for baring their chests. I agree. All knockers should be out. All jubblies, norks, cannons, whatever you want to call them. Bazooka. This is so stupid. Right. The 10th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals upheld the ruling that blocked a ban in Fort Collins, Colorado on women going topless in public. However, the Supreme Court, U.S. Supreme Court, this month left in place the conviction of 3 members of the Free the Nipple campaign who were arrested for going topless on a New Hampshire beach in 2016. There is a public indecency law in Missouri that was also upheld in 2017, and a court allowed a San Francisco public nudity ban to remain on the books in 2013. It's interesting to see how each state handles things, right? Now, what had actually happened was, Tilly Buchanan was charged after she and her husband took off their shirts to keep their clothes from getting dirty while they hung the drywall in their garage in their home. When the husband's 3 children, ages 9 through 13, walked in, she explained what she believed and that everyone should be fine walking around their house with whatever skin they want to show. It was the children's mother who reported the incident to child welfare officials working on a separate investigation involving the kids, with the police saying that Tilly Buchanan had removed her shirt and bra in front of the children while under the influence of alcohol, with the father not being charged, of course. His breasts are just fine. Something about this reeks. I can't quite place my finger on it, so I'm going to let you all work it out. Oh, vindictive much, though? Get next. I'm going to be honest with you. If many of you saw this video when it was originally uploaded, you'll know what actually came next. Turns out it was a Poe. But I do quite like the idea of the history behind anal probing, so I'm still going to link the Poe article down below because it is quite amusing regardless. Our final story, though, comes from the Metro. It's not going to be about Prince Harry, I might save that for next week, but it concerns a young lady called Melanie Morgan, who has taken it upon herself to lash out. To lash out because she struggles to refuel her car. She's not like the people in Oregon, that's where the pictures are from. No, she struggles to because the hand grip for the pump is a bit too girthy for her. Speaks volumes, I guess. Some things, when they're too wide, require both hands. Just a piece of advice for you. Her complaint is that because of this, petrol stations are sexist because they were designed and created by a man for men, which she's kind of right. The original creator of the very first gasoline pump was Sylvanus Bowser. It is why Australians sometimes refer to gas stations as Bowsers. Originally, though, they were not for cars, they were for kerosene lamps and stoves. Later improved and adapted with safety measures, none of which matter in Oregon, by adding a hose to directly dispense fuel into cars. Oh, how the times have changed. I still remember back in the old days when one went to the Texaco and had a manservant fill your car with 4-star, because we're all about that environment, yo. So yes, it was designed by a man. Much sadness. Melanie's main gripe is that she is growing sick and tired of asking for her partner to do the chore for her, with her believing that this is in fact the straw that breaks the camel's back and will edge her towards an electric car. I think you should get ahead of the curve anyway, as these types of cars will undoubtedly be banned in the very near future when the Conservatives realise it's the only way they're going to get ahead of Labour on the environment strategy. Many complaints centre around the size of a person's hand. I would say to you that it is not the size of your hand that is the problem. There are hand exercises that will enable you to possess a superior grip, which by strengthening the hand will reduce the harm placed upon it when trying to squeeze that shaft tightly. I mean the pump. Same thing, really. Although I don't think you have to stroke a fuel pump. Not that it matters. The point still stands. There are ways to make it easier for yourself even with your smaller hands. Men by and large do have superior grip. It's why we shake hands. It's our only way to find out who has the bigger dick without dropping trowel. If this does lead you in the direction of pursuing an electric car, lol, there are people who've commented on this article indicating you're a snowflake. I don't think you're a snowflake. I think you're complaining about a very small issue by making it seem like it's everyone else's fault. There is an opportunity for you to make things better for yourself. Get the hand exerciser. I use one all the time because I play guitar. It's not difficult, nor is it expensive. Get one. There are many different types, in fact. Now, as we are done here, I'm very much interested to know which of the 3 stories I have covered today is the stupidest. Is it the micro-penis man, graffiti artist, or the SWAT that went for him? Is it the courts in Utah? Or is it this lovely, not able to pump properly without harming oneself lady? Please do let me know in the comments below.